everyone, welcome back to Half Acre Adventures. My name is Gord, and today I'm going to be showing you how to grow your own oyster mushrooms at home. What I have here is a bag of oyster mushroom spawn. These are plug spawn, so these are little pieces of dowel that have oyster mushroom mycelium growing on them, and I'm going to be drilling holes into this log here, and we're going to tap these into the log, and then in about 6 months we're going to have our own oyster mushrooms growing out of this log. So let's get started. Okay, first of all, let's talk about the log. Different mushrooms grow on different types of material, and oyster mushrooms like hardwood. So what we have is a piece of alder here. This is relatively fresh. We cut this down probably 3 weeks ago, and you want to make sure that you have the right log for the type of mushroom that you're growing. So use the Google, check it out, find out what's going to be a good fit for your type of mushroom that you're growing. You want to make sure that it's a healthy tree and it's something that is alive. You don't want to pull some log out of the bush that's been dead for a while, because it probably is already growing some kind of fungus on it, and it will compete for the mushrooms that you're going to be growing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a drill. This bit is an 8mm bit. You could also use a 5/16, and we're just going to drill a series of holes into the log. You want to drill them about 6 inches apart. Then you can just roll it over and then drill one in the middle of these holes here, so it just spaces it out evenly. Okay. You want to make sure you have clean hands while you're doing this, so you're not introducing any other bacteria or anything else into the holes. So we've rubbed down the drill bit, our hands are clean, and also the hammer that we're going to use. So here's the dowels pieces right here. You can see that white growth on there. That is the mushroom mycelium. So we're just going to tap it in like that. I'll grab a few more here. Pretty easy to do. Now, depending on the size of your log and the type of mushroom that you want to grow, this should be about 6 months for oyster mushrooms that grow pretty quickly. Some mushrooms take longer to spread throughout the log and to start to fruit. Could take a year, could take even 2 years if it's a really large log, and for some slower growing mushrooms like shiitake, we have some shiitake logs growing behind our compost bin. I'll show you those in a minute. Okay, last step is I'm going to seal up all these holes, and I'm going to use this wax. Now this came with the kit, but you could get your own. This is soy wax. I just put it into this tin can and I heated it up on the stove with a little bit of water in this pot. You could heat this directly on a camp stove, but I'm just going to use a paintbrush and dab a little bit on here. That's all we're going to do. Do a little Bob Ross, painting happy trees. And this will help seal it up while the mycelium grows in the log. All right, I'm going to show you some logs that we have here. This is behind our compost bin. Now these are oak logs that have been inoculated with shiitake mushroom mycelium, and we got these from a mycologist in Victoria, so they were already done for us. And what I've noticed is that some little birds, a woodpecker or something, has actually found our logs, and it has dug out the grain that this was inoculated with. These were inoculated with a grain instead of a dowel, and so that's food for the wild things out here. And so they've actually, oh my gosh, look at this. So that's a shiitake mushroom growing out of this log already. Very cool. I did not expect this to happen so quickly. So that's our first shiitake. So what I've noticed is that there's all kinds of little bugs that have come in here. There's a slug, and they are going after the grain that was used to inoculate these logs. So I'm actually going to pull these out of here and I'm going to seal them up with some of the leftover wax that I have. Not only did we reseal the oak logs that we're growing the shiitakes on, but we actually racked them up all together so they're up off the ground with the alder logs that are growing our oyster mushrooms. And we've actually put this old fishing net over top of it, so hopefully this keeps the birds out. And these should be up off the ground. They won't rot that way, but they'll still get some rain, they'll still stay moist, and the mycelium will continue to grow until the mushrooms are ready to fruit.
This is Daddy's mini mushroom log. He's waxed filleted. He drills a hole in all of them, and then puts a seed in all of them, and he fills them up with wax in all of them.
Yeah, and we'll have mushrooms growing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, everybody, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something new. And stay tuned. We will have an update for you as we grow some of our own mushrooms here at home. Super nutritious. Mushrooms are amazing. Not just edible, but medicinal qualities. And I would encourage all of you to look this up and just add one more thing to your food security. It's something that you can do from home. So until next time, bye from Half Acre Adventures.